Hi, I just wanted to do something on varying your workouts, and many people that I see just don't have any idea what they're doing at all about firstly how to do an exercise properly, secondly how to make it slightly less hard, easier, or do the correct form. So I just wanted to do this video to show you all the different ways that you can change an exercise. So if you think, oh, I can't do lunges right now, you can. There's lots of ways around things, and I want to help you learn so you can feel confident in yourself. I know coming to a class is I've still got this thing, it's very annoying. Coming to a class is, for some people, like their worst nightmare. But actually for me, I go to classes myself. I go to the same one most weeks in my local gym because I love it, because it's great for me, and because I don't have to think about the workout. So if you're sort of every day like, oh, I should go and do something, and then you have to go and find the workout and copy the workout, or you think, oh, I've got some weights and I'll do whatever, I'll try and make up a workout. I'm a PT and I get annoyed making my own workouts up. So it's okay that you go to a class and you just have someone else tell you what to do, because I've programmed the class, I've made it balanced. That's the whole idea, is that if you were to have a PT session, we would look at your individual goals, what you want to do, and how we work around that. So no session is ever the same because you are all different. So I'm going to start with squats, which are really important because they're a compound movement. They get your body moving in lots of different ways. Even though you might just be moving your legs, you actually are using your core, you're having to hold yourself upright. You can add weights, there's all sorts of things going on. Compound movements are the big hitters that you want to do sort of after you've done your warm-up to build up your cardiovascular and your muscle endurance. And when you've done some compound movements, the smaller movements, like maybe like core work or side lunges, or things that are for smaller muscle groups and don't do all the body, are good to add on. So I'm going to do the compound movements, the big ones that are really useful and sometimes really horrible to do, but they're really beneficial for your whole body and being a mum. So we're going to start with the squat. So if you are totally new to exercise, we need to think about where your body is. So I start with rolling shoulders back and down, because quite often as mums we're like this. I can be like this. This is in buggy pushing, all of this. We need to get our bodies stacked. We need to have our ears over our shoulders, shoulders over our hips, hips over our heels. So we're in one long line and not hunched over. And this is actually quite uncomfortable if you are not practicing this every day. And just lifting your sternum, pulling your shoulder blades down your back is really important for exercising. I have to check myself all the time. Doesn't matter what exercise I'm doing, I have to recheck. I have to roll my shoulders back and tuck sometimes my hips under, depending on what I'm doing. If you don't like squats, if you've never done squats, you can get a chair. You can sit back onto the sofa. You want your knees behind your toes. You want your hips and your toes over each other. But we're not doing a wide squat, we're doing a squat where everything is in line. It might be that you feel more comfortable with your toes slightly out, but actually good alignment is to have everything straight. We're going to come down and up. We do inhale on the way down, so my knees are not over my toes like this, they are back, the weight is in my heels, and my bum is behind me. And exhale on the way up. See, my shoulders are already hunched. So squat down and exhale up. Squat down, exhale up. If that feels too much, that's okay. I do squats all the time. I do it with bars. I'm used to doing it. It might be that actually right now, you can only go to here. So you're coming down, that feels enough. And you're pulling up. This is not full range of motion though. this is only using part of your body, and it probably is making you feel tight in your back, and your core is probably feeling it. And what we need to be able to do is come all the way down into full range of motion to get the biggest benefit of this exercise. So if you look in the mirror, yes, you may have to look in the mirror, and you notice that you're only coming here, we need to work out how to get here. And that may be, you might not want to, that may be getting on a chair just to get used to, I'm going to get a chair. To get used to how that feels. So you still need to have shoulders back and down, feet underneath hips, come back. Sitting there, that's not as low as I would go in a squat, but getting there and standing up is activating more muscles and doing the squat much more effectively than coming here and going up. If you're coming here, you are doing yourself a disservice, when actually, if you're able to come, you can even start from sitting instead of starting from standing. Sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. Because ultimately, we need to be able to do this all the way through our life. Get off the toilet, get up off the sofa, and sometimes we have a small baby and we need to lift up and get up with them. If you've just had a baby, you've had a C-section, we're talking 4 kg, maybe less, but as they get bigger and they're lying on you on the sofa, if you're not working on your core or your back, and all of a sudden, kid jumps on you, you're like, oh, how do I get up? Oh, this is hard work. Actually, all of this is, like, don't do this if you're just new postnatal, don't pick up this weight and sit up. But I would not have been able to do this initially postnatal, because my core wouldn't have been ready, my back wouldn't have been ready, I would not have been able to do it. But the point is, if you've got a child on you, and you want to get up, whether you're rolling up, whatever you're doing, from here, you've got to stand up, right? It's important to get these exercises right, because you're doing it so many times a day, and if you're just doing 1 or 2 exercises or classes a week and practicing, doing full motion squats, full body, all the way down and up, it can be really beneficial to building your muscles so they don't feel sore and tired. In addition, if you feel like, oh, I can do a squat, that's fine, add some weight. We're doing the same thing. We're inhaling, exhaling on the way up. When you exhale, you're pulling the core around our body like a corset. And you can lift your pelvic floor. That's squeezing from your back passage to your front passage. And that technically is a Kegel, but you don't just need to be lifting in a Kegel. You also need to be using your trans-abdominal muscles here. So this is another variation of a squat. Nothing's changed apart from we've added some weight. So that feels easy. Let's go into a jump. So we're coming down. If you don't want to jump yet, but you're sort of finding a squat a bit boring, just come up to your heels. Same motion, it doesn't matter about your arms doing this, or that's what I'm doing, but actually keep your hands here, onto your toes. This is really to build how it feels in the front of your body, because this is predominantly using your back and your bum. So when you come up, you stop here, extending your feet, means you're preparing to do the spring. So if you have not yet done jumping, don't unless it feels comfortable. This is your next step. If you're not sure, or you feel like that's actually really uncomfortable, you're not ready for that. You need to stay here until doing this. Look, it's hard work. It shouldn't be easy, but if it's painful, you shouldn't be doing it. So we're going from here. The next stage up would be squat and getting air between the floor. Squat onto your toes and push up. squat, onto your toes, push up. This is hard work because I'm not going here, I'm coming all the way down. I'm getting full range of motion, and I'm getting a cardio hit. That's a couple of variations that you may start thinking, yeah, I'm good, I can do squat jumps. And then halfway through you think, oh, this is awful. Happened in pregnancy all the time. I knew I could do it. I would start, squat jump, land gently, and then I couldn't. So I would drop back down. This is a regression from the most intense one. So the regression, if you don't know what that means, is bringing it back. If this then feels too much, okay, fine. Just do the squat without the toes. So you can progress and regress a squat in so many ways for your body. See, like that's just doing some squats and I'm out of breath. Cardio work, whole body movement. It is hard work, but if you're just doing a quarter squat, tiny little bit, oh, falling over, you're never going to find getting off the sofa easier because you're not doing the full motion. And we need to be able to build our muscles and use our muscles fully. So if you're going to yoga and you're stretching, I love yoga, I'm not knocking yoga in any way, but if you are doing stretching and aligning a lot, that's great, but we also need to build your muscles that you're going to use every day. So you can do that in yoga, but often stuff like chair pose. This is great. It's a great pose. Same position as a squat. Activates your leg muscles, which is similar to what we've been doing in a squat. But are you going to be able to get down and back out of a chair from doing that pose? I like that pose, but I don't actually find it as effective as doing a squat for building my muscles. So that is one exercise with progressions, regressions, and you're going to be somewhere along the scale. Depends on the day of the week for me. Sometimes I'm happy to do a jump squat, jump onto a box. If you're working towards running again, this is another great addition to, just need a plate. This is just a small plate. 5, it's about the width, not about the weight. If you're planning to, if you feel like, oh, I don't want to do a jump squat, that's too much, this is another really good jump practice. I mean, first you're going to tap just to activate, to see, how does this feel? If this feels really hard, you had a baby 12 weeks ago, this is not going to be easy. And if this is not easy, just stop. Go back to basics. Go back to core. Go back to pelvic floor. Go back to simple stretching. This is not a straightaway exercise. And if you were in my class and you were telling me you just had a tiny baby, I would see in your face, this is not the one. And that's okay, because you'll get here. I couldn't do this, and I now can. But if you feel like this is, okay, it's fine. This is all right. Prepare. We're going to take an inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to jump onto the very slightly raised surface. That might be really hard work. Trust me, I have been there. Exhale on the jump. Exhale on the jump. This is how we build from something like doing this and feeling like, oh, I'm a bit bored of doing squats now, okay, like I need to add some impact, I need to add something more, I'm ready for the next thing. Jump back down. Inhale, exhale on the jump. And as you build this up, you can add another plate, you can add speed, you can add different directions. There's so many things that you can do with one movement, with one simple compound exercise. You can vary it, change it, adapt it, however you want to, that suits your body. So I really want to encourage you to come and learn how to do it, so you can recognise for yourself that actually I can do a squat, I can pick my level, I can pick where I'm at today, and I'm going to feel good at the end. I'm not going to feel so exhausted because I've overdone it, and I'm not going to feel like I haven't done enough because I didn't push myself. This is part of how exercise can be a really mindful activity, that actually, if you have never done a squat, doing one full squat with no weights is going to be hard work, and that's okay. But when you start there and you build, you start to pay attention to what your body is telling you. Like, oh, this is too low, I need some support here, I need to sit on the chair. Or, well, actually, like, this isn't enough. Like, you're listening to your body in the here and now. You're listening to the feedback of, oh, I think I can do a little bit more. But when you do that little bit more, is it too much? So where's the middle ground? Where is the bit that suits you at that time? It's really important. I really enjoy that part of exercise. It's why I like to exercise on my own and not with my kids under my feet, because if I'm about to lift, it doesn't have to be a heavy weight, if I'm about to lift a weight and I'm like, oh, trying to get my line, you know, like my alignment and get the right feet positioning and get my breathing right and try and think about my core, it's a lot of things to think about. And if my kids are under my feet going, Mommy, or like go to grab a weight, or I can't focus on my body. And actually, that's the aim, that's part of the aim of exercise, is to be aware of your body. And why would we need that? Because then when you know something is wrong, you can go and get it checked out, whether it's an osteopath, a physio, a GP. If you're doing exercises like squats, you're finding them really hard and you're leaking, or you've got pain, I'm not a mind reader, I can't see inside your body. The doctors also, GPs don't necessarily look at, much biologically and physiologically. When you have your 6-week check, they don't even check your diastasis. Maybe they do now, but that wasn't my experience. They don't know what they're looking for, because that's not their job. A physio, women's health physio and osteo, it is their job. And actually, unless you are going to see those people and they're giving you specific exercises for your body, you're not going to know how your body has recovered. And it's really important to know that. Otherwise, why have you got shoulder pain? Like, it could be related to your hip. It could be related to all sorts of things that you don't know about. I have shoulder pain, I hold the baby here. I feed the baby here. I rock the baby here. Should I balance it out? Yes, I should. But the reality is we get into patterns. Doesn't matter if we're a personal trainer, a therapist, we get into patterns that work for us and are quick fixes. And then the repercussions is, I do have a sore shoulder. I need to see the osteopath. Right now I haven't fitted it in, but we need to factor all these things in. And if we can't recognise what our body feels like when it feels right, we won't recognise what it feels like when it feels wrong. So just from learning how to squat and lunge correctly, you can learn so much about your body, and it can help you forever. You will be able to get off the toilet for your whole life if you can squat properly.